Moments when cops arrested the wrong person.
Back like you told.
Put your hands.
What are you doing? Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Oh, please.
Put your hands.
Jesus. Oh, my God. You broke my wrist. Oh, my God.
Stop.
For real. I got my hands up on the ground. He still got a gun pointed on me. And my knees hurt, man. Anybody come out?
Did he verify that somebody by the name of Trey works here?
I'm just dressed like this for no reason.
In this video, we have compiled moments when cops arrested the wrong suspects. So let's start with the first moment on our list. Case number 1. In a surprising and somewhat amusing incident, a South Sudanese man was mistakenly identified by local police. It all started when the officers approached the man, who was quietly minding his own business, and began talking to him. It soon became clear that the police had mistaken him for someone else.
For what? You think? That's an illusion.
From the start of their interaction, the man accused the police officers of racial profiling, likely because of their questions and approach. As the conversation grew more heated, tensions increased. The man repeatedly asked the officers to check his ID to confirm his identity. After some hesitation, the officers eventually agreed and checked his ID.
Watch how funny this is. Go ahead, look at it. No, don't hate me. Look at it.
Oh,
what does that say? What does that say?
What happened next was a big surprise. The man revealed he was actually an FBI agent, which completely contradicted what they had assumed. When the man asked, "What does that say?" it must have left the officers speechless, making them realize they had picked the wrong person. This moment was likely both funny and embarrassing for them, as their profiling attempt had gone very wrong. As the situation continued, the man asked for a supervisor. When the supervisor arrived, the man calmly asked for the officers' ID cards and remarked that they were unwise. It became clear that the officers had no good response or explanation for their actions.
Your card is yours. Yep. And I'm going to file a report on you, and you. Because you guys are all stupid.
The supervisor's visible irritation and the officer's silence indicated that they were well aware of the potential consequences of their mistaken identity encounter. Their actions could lead to repercussions within the police department and damage to their professional reputations. Case number 2. This is Samuel Scott Jr., a 44-year-old black man who faced a troubling incident in Buena Vista, Florida in 2018. After reporting his 2006 black Jeep stolen from his aunt's house, he called the Miami Police Department for help. Instead of receiving assistance, he was handcuffed by 5 Miami PD officers.
Checking for an aggressive white female, unknown weapons, wearing a white shirt, blue jeans, making threats to harm herself. Right now you can have to enter on the 17th Street side, 1850 4425.
Show me today, 113 call.
Yep. Esa misma es. ¿Pero qué?
¿Qué estás esperando?
¿Tú eres un sargento? Ok, yo tengo mi sargento. All right? Okay?
The officers thought Scott was the thief instead of the victim because he fit the description they had. A black male, bald, about 6'2", and heavy-set, wearing a white tank top. Scott, who is black, was wearing a dark shirt over a white undershirt at the time and tried to explain the mistake. On body camera footage, he told the officer, "I'm telling you, you guys have the wrong guy." The officer responded by mentioning how similar Scott looked to the suspect, and Scott replied, "But that's half of Miami."
Put your hands behind your back for me.
4322.
I'm being arrested.
Detained right now.
Why am I being detained though?
I'm going to explain to you in a minute.
4221. Red.
Just come with me for a second. Where's your ID?
Right there.
You're going to take all your stuff? We can't take this? Or this?
Can you? Like, what about my kids? I mean, I literally went over there to see my kids and everything. My kids are.
Where are your kids?
I was with them.
Where are
They're
they?
over there at what's the name? They're over at my cousin's house. So,
When?
huh?
When?
What? I've been over there since what? I want to say at least 5:30, 6 o'clock. I actually walked back over here.
You have 2 IDs?
Yeah.
That's not good.
Well, one is an ID and one is a driver's license.
Okay.
All right. Are you going to take me to see my kids or something, or am I going?
Listen to me. You're being detained. Okay. When we get the story together, I'll let you know what's up. Okay.
All right, but still not okay.
You mind if I sit in your car?
I really don't know
It's a bigger space.
what I did.
I really don't care, but... Alright, listen. I'm gonna reach your rights real quick.
At one point, Scott even laughed and wondered, why would I call the police? Despite this, he faced serious charges, including leaving the scene of an accident, falsely reporting a crime, not having a concealed weapon license, and possessing marijuana.
I can even confirm my activities. I recently logged off of the VPN at my job.
Okay. At what time?
Roughly before I came over here, before I called you guys.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, you guys got the wrong guy.
Okay. The description of the car, of the guy that took off from your car is just like yours.
But that's half of Miami, bald-headed with a beard. Even if he had dreads, it's dreads with a beard.
Okay.
But then it's not fair. I mean, like I said, my kids, I called because my car got stolen.
So they place him in a...
Fortunately, these charges were eventually dropped, according to the Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office. Now, 3 years later, Samuel Scott Jr. is seeking justice. He is suing the city of Miami and the 5 officers involved in his wrongful arrest: Jonathan Guzman, Michael Bloom, Brandon Williams, Miguel Hernandez, and Randy Carriel. The lawsuit claims unlawful search, false imprisonment, and racial profiling during his arrest. Scott's lawyer, Faudlin Pierre, is seeking $500,000 in damages. Pierre explained that Scott reported the theft to the police expecting help, but ended up being racially profiled. On the day of the incident, Scott left his aunt's house around 5:40 p.m. and noticed his Jeep Compass was missing. Around the same time, MPD officer Jonathan Guzman saw a Jeep Compass speeding 20 miles over the limit. The vehicle crashed into another car and the driver ran away. Guzman described the driver as a black male, bald, about 6'2", and heavyset, wearing a white tank top. When the officers reached Scott's aunt's house, they treated him as if he had stolen his own car. Even though Scott tried to report the car stolen, one officer threatened him with arrest if he made a false report. The body camera footage also revealed an officer pulling out a taser during the encounter with Scott. The arrest report wrongly described Scott's clothing and appearance, stating that he looked like the suspect who ran from the hit-and-run scene.
Over there, they don't even know what's going on.
So what time was your car stolen?
I told you, probably around about 5. I didn't pay attention to the time. I really just jumped out of the car to go see. That's it. If you want, like I said, we can go. Like, I had my kids and stuff like that, dropped them off, came over to say hi. And I went, I mean, I don't know what happened. I don't. I mean, like I said, I know the people that stay across there, over here, all over the place. I don't know what happened. My car just, somebody jumped in, drove off. And I'm sorry, but I'm telling you, I didn't do it. I mean, literally, I mean, why would I call the police? I mean, I called because my car is stolen. I mean, how me and my kids are going to get home? My pillow, my work ID, my work stuff, all of that stuff is in there. Why would I? That's why I'm like, why am I in handcuffs? If I'm calling them and I'm...
Just give me a second. You never been arrested before?
No.
Sure about that?
Yeah. Never been arrested. Ex-military, never been arrested.
What's the last 4?
The lawsuit stressed that Scott is shorter than the described suspect and was wearing a black shirt over a white undershirt, not a white tank top. Still, the officers ignored these distinctions during the arrest. Case number 3. Meet Antonio Arnello from Valdosta, Georgia, who received a $350,000 legal settlement after suffering injuries from what he claims was excessive force by a police officer in February 2020. This incident sparked a lawsuit against Valdosta police and city officials, alleging violations of civil rights and excessive use of force. It all started when a drugstore employee called the police about a man harassing customers and asking for money outside the store. Upon arrival, officers encountered 2 individuals matching the description provided. They discovered that one had an outstanding arrest warrant while the other was Antonio Arnello Smith. Body camera footage showed a troubling series of events. Smith was seen talking calmly with a black police officer when a white officer, later identified as Lieutenant Billy Wheeler, approached from behind. Suddenly, and without warning, Lieutenant Wheeler pinned Smith's hands behind his back and forcefully slammed him face first onto the ground.
Waiting up for Western Union. Call my sister right now. She's in Florida. You have a cell phone, call her. Don't
Call
try me
who?
like this. Call my sister in Florida. Don't do this. What are you doing? Oh my God!
hands behind your back.
What are you doing?
Put your hands behind your back.
The video captured Smith's cries of pain as he accused the officers of breaking his wrist. 2 additional white officers arrived at the scene, holding Smith down and handcuffing him. Shockingly, as Smith was being arrested on the belief of an outstanding warrant, another officer promptly interjected, admitting that they had the wrong person.
Back like you're told. Put your hands.
What are you doing? Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Oh, please.
Put your hands.
Jesus. Oh, my God. You broke my wrist. Oh, my God.
Stop.
You broke my wrist. Oh, my God.
Yeah, he might be broke.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Relax.
Oh, my God.
Put it up here.
Yeah, there you go.
7112.
Now roll over on this side. The other guy is over there. They pointed out 2 different people. They got the guy with a warrant. This guy, I had just got contact with him. Just make it a little faster.
And worker Jerry Leon.
Oh, you wrote it down. All right, sorry.
Well.
You don't need it?
Just show me your first name.
After an alarming incident involving Antonio Arnello Smith, he decided to take legal action against the Valdosta police and city officials, alleging excessive use of force and violation of his civil rights. This happened amidst a national outcry over police brutality against people of color, sparked by George Floyd's tragic death in Minneapolis in May 2020. In response, the Valdosta City Council approved a $350,000 settlement proposal to address the lawsuit. Additionally, they agreed to establish a citizen review board to oversee the local police department and offer policy recommendations. Establishing this board was a key demand from Smith, highlighting his commitment to holding the Valdosta Police Department accountable. Although city officials accepted the settlement offer, it's worth noting that Smith had initially sought $700,000 during negotiations before taking legal action. The proposed settlement aimed to resolve the matter and required Smith to drop all claims against the city. Case number 4. Meet David Wiggins, who found himself in a troubling encounter with law enforcement. Unfortunately, his experience didn't end as positively as one might expect. It all unfolded while he was driving, minding his own business, unaware of what was about to happen. Out of nowhere, police lights flashed behind him and sirens blared, catching him off guard. Confused, David was swiftly pulled over by officers who asserted their authority. The officers didn't hesitate to give commands. David was instructed to place items outside the car window and then to exit the vehicle using his right hand.
Hands out the window! Take your right hand, open the door. Get on the ground. On the ground. Did you just run from me? Sir, okay?
The orders kept coming, telling him to lie down. Confused and afraid, David tried to explain himself, maybe to clarify who he was, but got no reply. Even though he tried to prove his innocence, David ended up handcuffed and forced onto the ground with a gun aimed at him. It was a deeply disturbing situation. The officers had mistakenly thought he was a suspect who had supposedly run away in a similar car with the same license plate. A big mistake was their delay in checking the license plate right after the suspect fled from their sight. Instead, they waited until David was already on the ground, restrained and held at gunpoint before trying to confirm who he was. Their error became painfully clear when one officer finally said, "Give me that tag," only to realize this isn't even him.
I was going home. I did not run, I swear.
Since you give me that tag.
Contact to a 2016 Dodge Challenger, last name Green. It's not a hammer. It's clear.
This ain't even him. Here.
In that moment, David likely felt more relieved to discover the mistake, but it couldn't overshadow the trauma he went through. The officers, realizing they were wrong, gave a somewhat weak apology. They admitted David's car resembled the suspect's, but it didn't undo the terrifying 3 minutes David spent on the ground, handcuffed with the fear of a gun looming over him.
Little other than an apology for the whole ordeal, and was sent on his way after being correctly identified as the wrong guy. But that wasn't enough for David, and in July of 2023, decided to file a lawsuit against the city of Marion, claiming gross negligence, civil assault, battery, and false imprisonment. In the complaint, David alleges that he was forced to endure 3 minutes handcuffed on the ground with a gun to his head, not knowing if the next second would be his last. He also notes that the apology was a mockery. As of this video's upload, the case is still ongoing. However, when this cop in Florida was faced with the same situation, he managed to show exactly how you should handle it.
trying to get shot over this. Do you really think we want to be out here killing people?
A deputy in Volusia County was looking for a burglar.
Motivated by a desire for justice and accountability, David decided to take legal action against the city of Marion. In July 2023, he filed a lawsuit citing negligence, assault, battery, and false imprisonment. His legal complaint detailed the 3 agonizing minutes during which he had feared for his life. He also stressed that the apology he received felt like a cruel mockery of the trauma he had endured. As of now, the legal battle continues, leaving David and those sympathetic to his situation hoping for a resolution. Case number 5. The event in Tempe, Arizona on August 29, 2020 sheds light on a troubling case of mistaken identity and police action. Officer Ronald A. Kazaya approached Trey, believing he fit the description of someone with a gun. The encounter, recorded on body camera footage, raises concerns about how it was managed and its effects on innocent bystanders.
Step out.
I work here.
You work here?
I was kicking the door closed, man.
Okay, turn around.
I work here.
That's fine.
Come on, man, you don't gotta
Step
point
this
no
way.
gun at me. I got
Hey,
my
listen to me. Listen, okay?
I got my hands
I am responding to somebody with a firearm who matches your description. Do you understand that?
Listen to me.
The situation started when the officer was called to respond to a report of a man carrying a gun. The description initially provided to Officer Kazaya described the individual as a white man wearing a black shirt and tan pants.
White male. He's going to be wearing a black shirt, tan pants.
He's going to be coming down the staircase and exit out that door right there.
10-4. He's probably going to be poking out on the west exit.
When the officer arrived at the scene, he found Trey, a civilian wearing a white and grey shirt. It was clear that Trey didn't match the description given. Despite this, Officer Kazaya didn't interact with Trey or the other white male there. Instead, he waited near a side door, seemingly expecting the suspect to come out that way. Throughout the encounter, Trey remained remarkably composed, even though he was being held at gunpoint and questioned by the officer. He cooperated with the officer's inquiries and mentioned that he had kept the door closed. However, it was clear that Trey's demeanor contrasted sharply with that of the officer, who appeared unsure and hesitant.
For real, I got my hands up.
Where's your ID at? No, you don't get to tell me what to do. Where's your ID at?
Take the gun off me, man.
No.
Where your supervisor at? You gonna shoot me?
No.
Be another person on the news?
Get on your knees.
I didn't do nothing
Shut
to
the
you.
with that on your knees.
I didn't do nothing to you. Remember this. I need your badge number in your name.
You'll get everything you need.
Yeah,
Put everything on the ground.
I didn't do nothing to you. I got my hands up and I work here. Go call the manager.
41, where are my other units at? Just hang tight, okay?
But this ain't. I work here. All you gotta do is call the manager and take the gun
Who's your
off.
manager? Stop telling me what to do.
Sean Hoover, take
Okay,
the gun
what is
off
your
me.
name?
Trey.
41, can we get somebody to get the complainant on the line and find out if there's an employee here by the name of Trey?
You don't gotta hold no gun. My hands are up. I'm not a threat to you.
Are you a cop?
I'm not a threat to you.
Are you a cop?
I'm not a threat to you.
You don't tell me what a threat to me is. You don't know.
Just because you're a cop don't mean you can hold a gun at somebody whenever you get good and damn ready. I put my hands up and I'm
When
not...
I'm responding to somebody with a firearm, I can do what I need to stay safe and go home to my family. Do you understand that?
My hands are up.
This worker, Trey, is a legend for how he's handling himself in this cop here, complying with the officer, yet staying firm and confident despite the officer having a firearm pointed at him, which must be unimaginably difficult, especially since we know just how wrong this officer is.
I have somebody on the phone right now with Sean trying to confirm if you're an employee or not. As soon as I verify that, you can go and then you can get whatever information you need. Do you understand that?
It's crazy, huh? Hey, can you record this? He steadily got his gun on me and I got my hands up.
I'm recording too.
And I got my hands up. I know I work here, but he steadily got his gun.
That's fine, just stay back.
Hey, record this, man.
The main question raised by this incident is why Officer Kazaya singled out Trey as a potential suspect, even though he didn't match the initial description provided. The video brings up concerns about the officer's judgment and decision-making in this situation. After the incident, Trey took legal action. He filed a $2.5 million claim against the city of Tempe, seeking compensation for the distressing encounter. In December 2020, the Tempe City Council unanimously agreed to settle the claim claim by paying $300,000 to Trey. It's important to note that this settlement didn't imply any party admitting liability. Additionally, Officer Kazaya decided to permanently give up his Arizona peace officer certification after the incident. While it was presented as a voluntary choice, it effectively meant he couldn't pursue further law enforcement work in Arizona.